So let's dive into some questions here with our resident jester.
Okay. Where'd the jester come from? That's the first thing I got to know.
This guy has a long, short, famous, infamous history from New Orleans as an adult beverage. And I somehow kept it after a bachelor party down there. Don't know why, but I found it up in my cupboard and I was like, I'm going to get rid of this. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll use this. So now he is our mischief-making question man.
No doubt somewhere, like from a drive-through slushy zone or a hurricane is probably what they have down there, I think.
Yeah, they've got the hurricane. This guy's literally called the Jester, and it's an interesting time.
Cool, bring it on. I love New Orleans. My wife and I are about to have our 25th wedding anniversary, and we're going to hit New Orleans again. We haven't been there for quite some time. So
it's a very cool city. Lots of interesting, outside of Bourbon Street, like there's some really cool stuff going on there. Yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, a lot of great people.
Yeah. All right. First question is, have you ever been to a monster truck rally?
Maybe. Not one that I can remember. I have been to demolition derbies at the county fair when I was a kid. I don't think I've been to an actual monster truck. I wouldn't have gone for my own entertainment. It would have been to go cover something, and I can't really remember that. It's possible that there has been a monster truck
at something else.
An event, like an opening event, but they wouldn't have that at a baseball game. So
no.
Yeah.
So I went to one once, and it was a spectacle like I've never ever thought I would see, and I would highly recommend everybody should go just once.
Sounds good. The thing that comes to mind immediately is like blowing the audio module, like that. Like it's just right.
Exactly
like
what
that's monster truck, and as a sociologist at heart or an anthropologist, I think that I'm really interested in why people do things. I don't know that I need to embrace all of them, but to see that as for what it is, I think is pretty America.
It was, and you think like it doesn't make any sense that this thing that has 20-foot wheels is doing what that's doing,
right?
And it's insanely loud, and it, like I said, it was a spectacle.
Right.
Go once, get all into it, and then you can
I don't like to admit
list.
that I've doom scrolled over the years, right? But there is a group of people that two approaches to the monster truck thing. One is an AI version of a pickup truck that has like super turbocharge, and they show this thing like it looks pretty believable until you realize this thing is completely made up. And they hit the nitrous, and the truck goes like on its hind wheels and jumps bridges and stuff. And then the other is people taking RC cars and then filming it
like
so that it looks like real cars, and you're like, oh, look at that thing! Oh my God, he's doing a 360. And then you realize it's an RC car.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
But they do these things for real. It's wild.
Right.
Yeah. Go find one and see one.
I wonder what the insurance policy costs on a monster truck driver. That's
It's so wild to see. It was at the Verizon Center, not Capital One, to see the Cap Center turned into a muddy, dirty, moundy floor of obstacles for these giant trucks. Very, very strange. All right. What's a classic movie you've still never seen, but you're embarrassed to admit?
Casablanca.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I think I've seen the Humphrey Bogart, the Ender. I've seen the quotes, but I don't think I've actually watched it all the way through. I think also, can you believe it or not, Citizen Kane? I don't think I've studied Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
I've seen the angles. Everything is shot f/64, so you get all these crazy points of view.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually sat through and watched the whole movie.
I watched that in college in one of our classes, and then we didn't finish it because class ended, and we were supposed to start it again, but for some reason we didn't. So I'm like halfway through Citizen Kane, but that was now 20-something years ago, so I don't even remember what that was about.
This is an exercise in varying attention spans. Right now, we can't watch this like drama that sets across the stage, right? So people need to have like 50 cuts and then get into it.
Well, that's do you? Then we're seeing that on YouTube Shorts and Instagram Shorts, and like, are we losing that? Do you think? Are we losing the ability to sit still and watch a movie?
No, I think it just has to be in the modern day language, I think, or you have to give the audience the prep time to understand what they're in for. Like if you're watching a Jim Jarmusch movie, that's all about a stage, a scene, and the whole thing is about nuance of conversation. But people who watch those know they're in for that, and they're going to watch that. I think if you sit down on your couch and expect to watch something, the opposite. If you're on the bus and you're expecting to watch something really long on your phone, you won't do it.
Right.
If you are expected to sit down and watch a 20-minute thing or an hour-long thing on your couch, you're prepared for that. So you're doing that.
Sure. Yes. So, next question.
Next question.
But, all right. Let's see what we have here. Something new and fresh. What is the last book you've loved?
Does an audiobook count?
Sure.
Trevor Noah's autobiography is the last good one I listened to. I don't read a whole lot of books. I have a bit of an attention issue when it comes to reading. But thank God the audiobooks are like out there now. And so Trevor Noah is one, I think, a really underrated human. He's brilliant. And he, we'll spill it. So like I have recently in the last year or so been diagnosed with ADHD. He has too. And so I'm consuming everything by everybody who is the same or try to draw lines and parallels. His autobiography doesn't really talk about it. But he has a really interesting key to success in happiness as you grow older.
Interesting.
And it is maintaining relationships with people that aren't your spouse, aren't your siblings, maintaining these friendships, because those are the people that really are going to make life interesting and spicy for you. Right?
Yeah.
Like what happens if you lose those people that are automatic for you? He spends a lot of his time cultivating
real
so
friendships.
He says cultivating these relationships. So like they if he goes on a trip, he'll invite these people on a trip. I think in Africa, South Africa, he I can't remember the name he called it, but there's a thing they do, and they basically just hang out. There's a name for this hanging out, but they sit on a stoop or they sit in the yard and they just chill together. They don't necessarily feel like they need to say something.
Yeah.
They just like sitting there farting or, well, hopefully they're doing something besides sitting on their phone, but like, but you're
in the presence of
you're there and you're so comfortable with these people that
whatever comes up, you're
experiencing life together kind of thing. Yeah. Yep. And I really have tried hard since I heard that to sort of cultivate those relationships I have and say,
huge.
What can I do to make that relationship a little tighter?
Yeah.
And then you start to analyze, well, how do I find relationships, And I'm also thinking about this because of the pickleball thing, right? This is where the whole crux of that project is looking at people who are really interested in meeting other people by way of not digital process.
Yes.
So actually meeting them at a place,
in person,
communicating. And there's lots of goals to creating relationships. It's not all about love or sex, right? It is like, I think it's a human need. And so to sort of understand.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I mean, we were made as social creatures. Like that's why I think COVID was so detrimental.
Right.
Because we need community. We need in-person interaction.
Right.
And so we thrive off of that. And so you can see over the last 2 years-ish, and I've seen this, as I have gotten out and been to a conference or been up to meet people, like really made an effort to have lunches, to have coffees.
Right.
People, they jump at that.
IRL.
Wait, really? Well, you want? Yeah, let's do. I can make some time.
Right.
I don't want to be on Zoom anymore.
I mean, I'm embarrassed to say this is my first IRL podcast, and you know what? I dig it. I feel like I'm on my toes a little bit more. I'm ready to, interact, and part of that. This is again back to the journalism, and my mission for everything is like figuring out, what's real about a person, and so. this is just more of that.
It
I think
is
it's great.
Well, that's why, like, in doing what we did, season 1 was all virtual, and it's like season 2, we want to focus on DC creatives and be in person. Like, that's essential, and it's very, very new, but it's been really awesome to just have those interactions.
Right.
Some of them are friends, some of them are people I've known for a long time, some of them are people I just met, like you and I, we just met a couple months ago,
Right.
And so you learn something new about people in person that you just don't really get over Zoom or anything else like that.
Right.
I love that.
Like, what a good-looking person you are. I mean, you've got like the perfect amount of stubble. Like, this is something I wouldn't get on the Zoom, right? We'd be in and out. The audio is often shitty. Like,
right.
A
little blurry. You got some pixels there going on. Right?
It's easier for me to hit the punchline when I know you're looking right at me.
It makes
and you're
a
not
big
staring
difference.
somewhere else. Yeah,
yes,
good
I
stuff.
completely agree. Love that. All right, we'll do one more and we'll get Mike out of here. All right. So a capsule wardrobe. Have you ever heard that phrase before?
Mm-mm.
So it's essentially, if you could wear one outfit for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Shoot. What would that be? I think it is like, this is gonna date me, but I think it is like a Fila or an Adidas jumpsuit.
Okay.
Has to match. Probably would be a darker color, maybe black or brown, and then it would have the 3 stripes on the sides.
Yeah.
Because I think that's sort of like you could dress it up.
Yes.
You could dress it down. You could sleep in it. It's ageless, classic.
You know what's funny, Mike? I think I've only had that question come up twice. No, a couple of times, 3 times maybe. You're the second person who has said the exact same thing.
Ah! Well, I mean, hopefully they were my age too, right? It's like, I don't know. I just, the thought of having to wear the same thing every day. Yeah. Although I kind of wear a uniform, it's sort of like
jeans and a comfy shirt.
Shabby, just enough to like fit in. This is the journalist. You like always show up in like you need to be able to go to a high class event, a funeral, or a daycare luncheon like in the same day. And so how it's like maybe the button down shirt and maybe jeans, but jeans, so
yeah, the nice.
You got to
jeans.
be the chameleon.
These are my nice jeans. They hang up. Yeah,
the chameleon.
But you got the cool glasses, the awesome red. They have a pop of color. It's like I'm still a creative. Like
I'm
it
a creative,
has that.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the jumpsuit thing. I'm thinking like I go to like Run DMC or. What's the other? I can't remember.
We'll go with just Run DMC. There we go. I love it.
Right.
Mike, this was a ton of fun.
Shit, it was
I
great.
appreciate it. Yeah, this is awesome. We'll do this again.
Yeah.
Sometime down the line.
I love it.
Yeah.
Remind me the name of your podcast.
Positive Mischief.
And everybody tune into Positive Mischief, and you're going to turn into The Curious Creative.
There you go.
You can see me on Apple, Spotify, LinkedIn, and YouTube where it's right. Born.
Wherever you find your favorite podcasts, you can find us there. You can find it on our websites too, probably.
This is good. We should do this again.
I know.
I want to
follow
see where
up.
we are in 6 months. Yeah.
Right?
Good stuff.
Yeah. With a buddy of mine we did earlier, he and I hadn't seen, that question came up at the movie, hadn't seen The Godfathers. And we're both Italian, and we're like, this is embarrassing on every level. So we're going to watch them together, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. So we got a couple of those things to do. Casablanca and
Citizen Kane.
There we go. All right, folks. That's all we have. Talk to you later.